Hello EL teachers, this is a quick screencast to show you some additional resources for differentiating for your ELMF Foundation students. Let's start in Curriculum now. Go ahead over to Curriculum, Secondary, High School or Middle School, you can access it either way, and then scroll down to your Math Foundations. This leads us to our ELMF Foundations page. I'm going to show you today some additional places you can go on Curriculum Now to get resources to differentiate and scaffold for EL students who are still continuing to struggle in Math Foundations courses. I'm going to use ELMF Foundations 1 as an example. The main page of your ELMF Foundations course shows you a little bit about the scope and sequence of your ELMF Foundations units. But if you go into the tabs on the bottom of this spreadsheet, you can find the specific standards addressed in each unit. To get us started, I'm going to use this example from ELMF Foundations 1, the very first lesson, 2 NBT A1. That standard number tells you where you can go in Curriculum Now to find additional resources. For example, 2 NBT A1 would indicate that this is a second grade standard, 3 NBT A1 would be a third grade, and 4 NBT a fourth grade standard. Let's start with 2 NBT A1. Don't forget that there are a lot of additional resources on the right-hand side on any of these ELMF Foundations curriculum maps. These are great tools to look at online games, additional information, clarify any of those key concepts, so feel free to access those. But if you find that they're still not working and you need something a little bit more differentiated or hands-on, you can find additional resources on, for example, the second grade Math Standards page. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a shortcut to find some additional resources. If you go into your FCPS bookmarks, go down to Curriculum Now. Instead of going into the Math Foundations or EL pages, start by the grade standard that you're looking for math. We're looking at a grade 2 standard today, so I'm going to go into grade 2, Math, and then up at the top you can see the different grade level options. I'm going to go down to Grade 2, Unit 1. Now back to this standard, you might need to dig a little bit to find exactly where these are in the units. Just because this is Unit 1 here and Unit 1 in second grade, that doesn't always line up that way, so you may need to dig to find the standard you're looking for. But once you're there, Grade 2, Unit 1, you can scroll down. This is where you find the standards addressed. So I know that 2 NBT A1, understanding those 3-digit numbers and representing amounts of hundreds, tens, and ones, can be found in the second grade, Unit 1, just like it's in the first lesson of your Math Foundations course. Now if you scroll past the content standards, there are some great connections here that break down the standard for you into student-friendly language, some additional links and unit outcomes for second graders, and after that there are some great instructional resources that you can use to help students work through these problems. Your problem-solving work mats are great and help students kind of break apart the place value process, but you can also find lots of tasks, sample lessons, digital resources. These are great because it makes things real for students. Just like we expect our teachers to build in realia and hands-on activities, you can use these lessons to break apart these standards into issues with money, for example, for our secondary students. There are games and online resources like place value models that you can pull from to help illustrate these place value concepts. Even though they might be a second grade standard, there are a lot of secondary and high school, middle school friendly materials that you can use online to give students guided practice, visual rich learning environments, and lots of hands-on activities that you can pull from to help clarify some of those key math concepts that you're finding in the EL Math Foundations curriculum. There's a lot of resources available for all of these math grade levels. If you go back to the Math Curriculum Now page for elementary, you can find all of these same materials up through grade 5. These are the standards that are reflected in your EL Math Foundations courses, so don't shy away from using the Curriculum Now materials already created for those specific standards. There are lots in here for you, but feel free to keep digging. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to our EL team, and we're happy to help you work through some of that differentiation and SciUp scaffolding for your EL Math Foundation students. Thanks.